March 25th through 29th at the Baird Center in Milwaukee, thousands of gamers gathered from across the world. They gathered to fight giant sump spiders, to scratch-build Hive scummers, and most importantly, to make new friends. Who did we make new friends with? Find out this time on JD in the Sump Sea. Welcome back to JD in the Sump Sea. I'm Jay, and today's video is all about Adepticon 2026. And if you enjoy recap videos of wargaming conventions in the year of our Lord 2026, then perhaps you should bust out that Warhammer and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of our videos. Wednesday, day 0 of Adepticon began at Old Guard Games. Dale and I met there to load up his van with all the terrain we were bringing to the con. This year we had a permanent setup right across from the Golden Demon. We were in the room N206, the room that had Adeptus Titanicus, Legions Imperialis, Necromunda, and one Trench Crusade board. We took 4 trips to unload Dale's van. We parked at a parking structure about a half a block away, and we had 1 cart, so it took us a bit to get everything into the convention center. No sooner had we finished transporting everything to N206 than Hive Market Minis Matt and Fowler from Goonhammer.com showed up. We started setting up the boards almost immediately. Dale had built 2 brand new sump boards just for Adepticon to help out John's Necromunda campaign, but also to have some new boards for the open Necromunda gaming we were hosting that night and all of Thursday. We also brought some open sump tiles and scatter terrain for a rolling sump board with boats. I began setting up that board as Dale finished setting up the sump boards. We also put Fowler and Matt to work by having them put the bridges and the fuel drum scatter terrain on those 2 sump boards. I continued setting up the rolling sump board, and then Dale started on the Sump Wall setup. One of the nice things about the Sump Wall is that it's not a very deep board. Dale set it up on 2 narrow folding tables that were against the wall. Since the board can accommodate 2 games going simultaneously because of how long it is, it really makes good use of a small amount of space. Soon people started poking their heads into the room to see what was happening, and this guy here in the pink shirt, he was an organizer of some of the Horus Heresy events. He was very curious about our terrain setups and Necromunda in general, and he stuck around and talked with us for quite a while. We really attracted a lot of people over the weekend. Dale printed up 50 6-inch rulers with JD in the Sump Sea in raised letters on them, and we gave all of them away by about 2 p.m. on Thursday. We were that busy. Here is a better look at the finished board setups. Rounding out the night was a special narrative Necromunda scenario on a special board that Joe had made. He used the Necromunda tiles that we graffitied up at Ash Waste Weekend as walls. It was really cool seeing those tiles again. Once his game was over, we all hung out a little longer, then headed home around midnight. Thursday started with a bang. Sump Spider Hunt on Dale's tallest board was the first game of Necromunda I played in N206. I had my Sump Pirates, led by the Ogre and Captain Bullflay, which I just finished a video about that you can watch here.
Oh wow! Oh, we gotta check that out. Yeah, that's awesome.
My friend Benjamin of Purp Miniatures fame was my opponent. He had a wonderfully converted Chaos Helot gang. Take a look at his conversions. That is what his channel is all about. I decided to use one of the 3D printed JD and the Sump C rulers that Dale had printed for this game that I talked about earlier. The new boards Dale made were a mix of MDF, 3D prints, old toys, and various Games Workshop and other miniatures manufacturers' plastic kits. One of the things he also does is use up failed 3D prints in his terrain. A lot of the walkways and bridges he made for the 2 new boards are failed ruler prints. We took turns taking pot shots at the spiders, but neither of us were very successful.
And then he's gonna shoot some spider with a shotgun. Solid shot.
We were playing a skirmish game of Necromunda, so it was just for fun, and after a few turns we decided to call it so we could do other Adepticon-related things. Things like meeting new people and talking Necromunda. We met so many people this weekend. Both Mike from Tempest Terrain and Damon from Wellywood Wargaming showed up together. Turns out they'd flown into Chicago and met there and then headed to Milwaukee. They both hung out with us most of the weekend. Here they are, playing on the Sump Wall. Later that afternoon, I played another game on Dale's vertical board. This time the goal was to escape out of a hatch in the ceiling. We had to get from the ground all the way to the topmost part of the board. I played Ty from iPaint Small Things with his clown gang, and Joe of Ash Waste Weekend fame. New info on the Ash Waste Weekend 2026 is up on the website now. His gang was an outcast gang led by Cal Jericho. At about 4 p.m., Hive Market Minis Matt kicked off the Scumathon 2026 with a Bits Bash. We had a huge table covered in sprues. Anyone who wanted to could come and build whatever crazy creation they wanted. We were originally only going to be doing this for about 3 hours, but it was so popular we basically built minis until 11 p.m. when we actually had to clean up because we had to leave. I also met Sean today, a great hobbyist and artist with a really cool Instagram that shows off his work. You should check it out at particulate_x. These are most of the crazy creations that were made that night. And this is the kickoff of a competition that Hive Market Minis Matt is hosting. Go to his Instagram to find out more information. I ended up making 3 weirdos. This is the first one. He'll be a champion for new Outcast gang that I build, and this guy on the left here is going to be the other champion in that gang. The Arbiter looking guy I still haven't found a place for yet, but I'm sure I'll find some use for him. And to round out the evening, Joe again ran the Panic at the Disco scenario for a second time. And here are some atmospheric shots. Thanks for these awesome pics, Rochester Mike. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Emily from Badger Games gave me a ride. BadgerGames.com has a huge variety of miniature paints and hobby accessories, and if you use the code JD2026 on your next order, you'll really help out the channel. My partner was helping Emily at the Badger Games booth at the con. Thanks again, Emily, for giving us a ride every day. John started the first day of the 2 Necromunda Campaign days with a discussion on the rules with everyone crowding around to hear. He had a really good turnout, and as you can see, our room was bustling with activity the whole con. Here are the boards John's Necromunda campaign used for the event. We had brought 6 sump boards as well, so there was plenty of terrain for everyone, along with having a few boards empty to allow for pickup games throughout the day. A number of these boards are Adepticon-specific boards. The circular arena board is one that John built, and the Panic at the Disco board Joe built. The other 6x4 board cargo rig heist, and that one was also one that Joe built. The people playing in the event brought some really cool gangs and vehicles. This boat is really well weathered. I love the Waffle Hive conversion. The vehicle is just fantastic, and this display just blew me away. And I saw these Quado Redemptionists that someone had. They were also really well done. Elsewhere in our same room, a huge Legions Imperialis / Adeptus Titanicus campaign raged throughout the weekend. These are just some of the models that were used during the campaign. I had some time to wander the convention halls on Friday, and I was impressed with how big the main hall was. And I've been to many conventions over the years, and I don't think I've seen a hall this big with windows like this. The natural light really adds a different dimension to the space. These two display boards were obviously labors of love. The goo-infested mountain cave is incredibly impressive. And the display with the Kraken is something I would love to play a game of Necromunda on. It took so long to build these two display boards, I just can't even imagine doing it. After walking around for a while, I got back to the Necromunda room, and the Sump Wall was being used by 4 players, which was fantastic. Dale had met a number of people who had popped in, including Arbiter Ian. John asked me if I could play the NPCs in one of those scenarios, so I got to play a convoy trying to escape. And I met 100 demons there. Go check out his Instagram for more great hobby inspiration and to find out what he was up to in our Necromunda room during Adepticon. By Saturday, I was pretty tired. I didn't take too many more photos or videos the rest of the time, but I did get some pictures from the second cargo rig heist Necromunda game that John asked me to assist Joe with on Saturday. John made all the scenarios for this campaign weekend, and he did a really nice job. I was also able to acquire an Ash Waste Weekend 5 flyer from Joe, so take a look, and if you want more information, make sure you check out the webpage at ashwasteweekend.com. I can't wait to make a new gang and display board, covered here on the channel of course, for Ash Waste Weekend 5. Hive Market Minis Matt brought his ridiculously cool Ogren game and got to play with them on the Sump Wall. Fowler from Goonhammer.com set up a 4-player game that he designed to be on the open sump. The idea is that sump whales will pop up randomly and either splash you with their tail while also possibly capsizing your boat, or they might pop straight up and swallow your gangers or small boats whole, or they may surface and ram into the largest thing in their path. He made a great chaotic game that I will have to copy for our group here in Milwaukee. The whales were 3D prints, but I've already been thinking about how to make them with Sculpey or paper mache or something like that. Saturday night, Ty, Damon, Mike, Dale, and I went to the 3rd Street Marketplace. We went there to find some dinner, and we found a South American restaurant that was quite good. We all agreed that the food was fantastic. Dinner out was a nice way to end Saturday night. After we were done with dinner, we went back to the convention hall and just kind of hung out and chatted for a while. I was pretty tired at that point, and I didn't really have much brain power left for gaming, and I feel like nobody else did either. We just kind of wanted to hang out and chat. While we did that, Joe ran once again Panic at the Disco, the last time that he'd run it for the weekend. Sunday morning, I met up with everybody in N206 around 9:30 or so, and we started packing up. And Damon and Ty and Mike helped Dale and I get all of the totes out to Dale's van. It only took one trip out this time, and we had to get going because Dale had a meeting in the afternoon. Damon also had to take his flight out in the afternoon as well. In the parking building where Dale's van was is where we all said goodbye. It was great to meet Damon. I had a great time hanging out with him all weekend, and I think he did too. He put up a video this week of his experience at Adepticon, and if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you go to his channel, Wellywood Wargaming, and check it out right now. It was also great meeting Mike from Tempest Terrain. Thanks for coming all the way from England. And thank you also, Damon, for coming all the way from Australia. It was a long trip, I know, and we really all appreciated both of you guys coming out, and we had a great time. Let's take a look at the stuff that I brought home. I found a booth with this Bolt Thrower 2 t-shirt, and I just had to buy it. I needed 25mm Necromunda bases, and I found 30 of them. I also got some 32mm bases, and the old GW box of skulls. I got the John Blanche Volumes 3 and 4 paint sets, which I intend to use on my next gang that I paint. And at Elric's Hobbies booth, they had a big table covered in secret weapon paint pots. It was $1 each, or $5 for as much as you could fit in your hand, so I bought this many. I also got some superglue accelerant from Elric's, and I found the Lethal Shadows booth, and I bought their black primer, which is a favorite of mine. Also, thank you Katie for the tactics cards, thank you Eric for the Adepticon exclusive mini, and thanks Mike for the great Tempest Terrain products. The ruler is awesome, and I really like the objective point counter as well. And look at all the great stickers I got. I can't wait to make some sticker Hive scum. Thanks, Matt. Well, I can't believe how amazing this weekend was. The Necromunda community continues to prove that I did the right thing by joining it all those years ago, and by making it my primary miniature wargame. Everyone I met this weekend was so enthusiastic and friendly, and I had some great conversations, and I had some great games as well. Can't believe it's over already. I've already started thinking about next year, what we can do differently, what we can do better, what we can do to improve the experience for everyone. And while I'm waiting for next year to come, I've got some hobbying to do. So as always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.